Hello everyone, the other night I did a stream where I was going to debate audiences' takes on Star Wars. And as I waited for people to come in, I watched this video by Nixium about Star Wars The Old Republic switching from Bioware to Broadsword. I'll also go over some other things that happened during that stream in another video. Not a whole lot of people stopped by. In fact, two, and one of them is a recurring Twitch viewer. But I'll come out with a video with some things that popped up during that stream in the near future. I'll try to get that out sooner rather than later. But for now, here's a reaction to this video by Nixium. See you next time, and may the Force be with you. You know what? Let's actually watch this. Because I am interested in this.
My friends.
Hello, Nixium. I mainly watch you for Star Wars content, WoW content. But let's watch this as we wait for people to walk in. And oof, I don't have a cam now because of this though. I can't have my webcam being used for multiple sources on screen, which is kind of annoying, right? It's kind of annoying. So what I'm going to do, how do I do this? What's the best way to do this? You know what, let's do that. I'm going to do that. This is going to be so scuffed. I love it. It's going to be so scuffed. And then
today we're
here we go.
Something
Sure.
probably going
It works.
to disappoint a lot of people.
But
or maybe it's
while I wait for people to come in or want to come in, or to come in and figure out what they want to talk about and then join Discord, whatever, I'm going to watch this video about Bioware not being in charge of SWTOR anymore. I should just say Star Wars Old Republic rather than saying SWTOR. It's so weird to say.
people with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of hope for the future. We're going to talk about the future of Star Wars, the Old Republic, the big Star Wars MMO, and what is
this is taking up a lot of space.
The future of this game. So if you haven't heard the recent news, BioWare is actually going to stop development of Star Wars The Old Republic.
I got a better idea to do this. Let's and then do this so it just takes up less space. Yeah.
Before you freak out and before you say, oh man, the game is dead now, hold on a second. BioWare is stopping development of SWTOR because they're going to transfer the development of this game to a company called
I heard this.
Broadsword. Now, if you don't know who Broadsword
I really
is,
don't.
they are the company that maintains the two games Ultima Online and Dark Age of Camelot. But before you guys ask, yes, Broadsword is going to manage.
Let me just make sure. Okay, it is normal. I'm just too used to watching 2x speed.
Overall management, not the content.
Yeah, I saw like a whole lot of people are moving over to Broadsword.
Is still going to be overseen by EA. Yes, EA. Electronic Arts, everybody's favorite gaming company.
We all love them.
As you can imagine, this announcement has come with a very mixed response from the SWTOR player base, as well as people who may be interested in playing Star Wars The Old Republic in the future.
Like me. I've been playing a little bit recently.
Ultima Online is a popular MMO, especially when it first came out, but right now it's probably averaging only about 4,000 players a day, and Dark Age of Camelot is an MMO that's averaging about 3,000 if my Google foo is good enough and I got these numbers
It's not a whole lot.
So nowadays,
not a whole lot, is it?
Pretty small MMOs, but they are still getting updates to my understanding and from what I have heard and been told and what I saw while Googling around. So it's not like SWTOR's development is just completely dead in the water.
Yeah.
We're never going to see a new expansion or anything. In fact, BioWare's general manager, Greg McKay, has assured the player base that the development of SWTOR will continue and that this move is not going to...
I do wonder... This is going to be so scuffed doing this. But I do wonder what the future of the Old Republic will be. Like, how much longer... How profitable is Star Wars Old Republic? Like, it can't be that profitable, right? Because... I don't know the player base count, but it can't be a whole lot because the game is a little janky. It is a little jank and definitely has some, I was going to say it has some pay to win mechanics, but I think for the most part, if you sub, you get almost all the benefits. I'm not 100% sure though. I've only played for a little bit, but it seems like for the most part, you get a good chunk of the content for free, and then you just kind of get some bonus benefits for subbing, which I'm not subbed because I don't want to spend money on it, if I'm honest. and I can deal with what I'm doing because I'm already over leveled. But yeah, I'm curious when the next expansion is going to be released, or if a next expansion is going to be released. I guess we'll just have to wait and find out.
Already being worked on plans and features for the game. A direct quote, he said that players, quote, will continue to enjoy the SWTOR that they know and that they love.
Hey, that's important. If they like it now.
Star Wars: The Old Republic doesn't get expansions all too often compared to games like
Yeah, I'm
Elder
sure
Scrolls
I'm
Online,
sure he's going to say when we got the last one.
The expansions that SWTOR does get is always rich with a lot of storytelling. People are big fans of the characters. People love Star Wars: The Old Republic, and so again, there's questions to be said about whether or not Broadsword can pull off the storytelling that Bioware is so well known for.
This is true.
Apparently we're going to get more stories. Apparently we're going to get more stuff. Otherwise, this guy, Mr. McKay, is a big liar, but yes, we'll see.
I mean,
nonetheless, though,
not like
really
big CEOs like that lie or anything like that.
I actually ran a poll over on Twitter asking people what they thought about this change of, well, development management from Bioware to Broadsword. And I was actually surprised to find that the answers or the results of that poll were pretty well balanced. It was almost split perfectly, 25% for each option that I gave. Some
it's actually crazy.
Are optimistic, and they think this is a great change because right now,
I mean,
Bioware,
new blood is always needed sometimes.
All that much when it comes to Star Wars: The Old Republic, and there are bugs and problems with the game that still need to be fixed.
Yeah.
Players have been asking Bioware to fix for I don't even know how long. When I was playing Star Wars: The Old Republic actively and I was leveling up in my recent Sith Warrior, I was seeing it in the general chats, in my Twitch chat, tons of people saying that, hey, this game's great, but it does not get the love and attention that it deserves from the company who manages it. So some people are praising this idea, this idea that Bioware is surrendering the reins of the development and giving it to another company who possibly is going to be more competent and is going to care more about the community.
That's the bright side way to look at it anyway.
The less optimistic side of things, where a lot of people are assuming that SWTOR is pretty much dead now. This company, Broadsword, they're not really a game development company. They're more of like a game maintenance company.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of like just
maintain Star Wars: The Old Republic. They're going to keep the servers running and stuff. But in regards to big expansions and, you know, big hopes and dreams that SWTOR is going to
they just like try to keep games alive, basically.
Feature in the future that's going to bring back thousands of players to the game. Those dreams have been completely crushed by this. For all intents and purposes, people are saying that SWTOR has now officially died as an MMO. Or if it hasn't died, it is on its last leg.
I mean, it's been like that for a while, right?
That this
for the most part,
transferring the development of SWTOR to Broadsword has also brought with it layoffs behind the scenes. So a lot of the people who have worked on Star Wars: The Old Republic, or maybe I shouldn't say a lot, we don't know the exact number. I guess several or a good number of people who worked on Star Wars: The Old Republic, they've been laid off. They're not needed anymore, and they're going to go find new jobs at EA, like, you know, in other parts of the company for other games.
I mean, if they still get a job, that's good for them at least.
In regards to whether it's going to be a, you know, like revived by Broadsword and their creativity, or if it's just going to be sitting in maintenance mode with no real content going forward. I mean, what is the future of SWTOR? It's anybody's guess. Now, for this last little segment of the video, I wanted to spend a moment just sharing my own opinions on this as somebody who has recently been playing SWTOR, who has leveled up a character to max, who does enjoy playing this game every now and then in the background with my friends, and I just want to share.
Yeah, it's a fun game to play.
My own personal opinions. I'm a very big
it's just hard for me to justify playing and streaming it rather than just working on a video. That'd probably do better for my channel.
That have surrounded Blizzard Entertainment, and I love MMORPGs. It's my favorite genre of video game. It's why this entire YouTube channel is dedicated to me covering and talking about MMORPGs. But the truth of the matter, as much as I hate to say it, is the fact that I don't really, in my opinion, as a sort of more casual SWTOR player, I don't really see Broadsword being the company that is going to revive Star Wars.
Yeah, they don't really have a great history.
A new light.
So there's little reason to think that they'll
dead at this point.
Bring the game back to life.
Yeah, this is probably it. The game is pretty much going into maintenance mode. I kind of agree with this. especially considering the fact that Broadsword themselves, not from what I've seen anyway, they themselves have not put out any sort of statement saying, hey guys, don't worry, we're working on this expansion right now, and then we're going to be working on this patch and these new changes to PvP or whatever. We haven't really gotten any of that. We've just gotten a SWTOR developer saying, hey guys, don't worry, all right? Content is still going to come. Trust us. Is that actually the case? Do we actually have a lot of content
Trust.
SWTOR? I don't know.
That's rough to get
I
from
would love it if
MMO
Broadsword
players, I feel
said,
like.
you know what? Hey, we're getting this game. We're getting this game SWTOR, and it has a lot of potential. It is the Star Wars MMO right now. People love Star Wars. Like, you can't go wrong with Star Wars. I mean, goodness gracious. They could spend their time really fixing and breathing new life into Star Wars The Old Republic, fixing issues in the end game, fixing the bugs that pollute this
There
game,
are so many
fixing
bugs.
frame rate issues and small things like that, optimization problems.
Like, just
they could create a new UI. They could do. There's a lot of stuff that they.
a new
do
UI would really
for
freshen up
Star
the
Wars
game.
The Old Republic to bring new players into the game. People like me.
Like there's like two bugs that I can think of easily off the top of my head for barely playing is you can pull out your weapon and then it just won't show. You'll like attack like with the lightsaber and it'll show like the lightsaber like swing effects, like it's like fading away and stuff like that while you're moving it, but it won't be in your hand. It'll be invisible. Also, there's a map bug, I believe, where you'll click the map and then I don't remember exactly, but like it just won't show up. So then you have to click out of the map and then click back into the map, then it'll show. Yeah, it's just like small little bugs like that are just what kind of like eats at the player experience. And the more of those, it's almost worse, I would say, to have a bunch of small little bugs that are just like nitpicky than like one big bug. Because as long as the big bug is like avoidable, like if it's like, hey, just don't do this thing and then your game won't crash. Even if it's an important thing in the game, it's like, well, if you avoid that, then your game won't crash. But if there's like a couple dozen little things that just like irritate you as you play, those will be worse for the game than that one big bug, in my opinion, anyway.
Star Wars is such a massive universe with so much stuff that you could potentially put and insert into an MMO. From new ways to explore the Force as a Force-using character, to new ways to customize and create weapons and armor if you're a non-Force user, to protect yourself from, you know, the Force, Force lightning, Force pushes, whatever it might be. The Force in and of itself and the technological aspect of Star Wars The Old Republic creates a huge opportunity for content creation.
Big true.
Man, why can't we make our own droid, for example, in Star Wars The Old Republic? This would be so cool, being able to construct a droid and having like our own custom-made droid companion following us around.
That'd be sick.
How cool would that be?
That'd be sick.
Right? A custom-made
You're right.
HK-47 or something with its own paint job that we decided on. It actually surprises me that SWTOR does not do better in the current market, especially with just how much people love Star Wars. Yeah, Disney kind of has dropped the ball a lot when it comes to Star Wars in many
Maybe
ways.
a little bit.
People
Maybe a
still
little
love the
bit.
universe, and they love the Old Republic universe. And maybe it's possible that maybe Broadsword could create a way for maybe, you know, SWTOR to get away from that sort of single player MMO stereotype that it, you know, so unfortunately has. Maybe offering that option to people if they want to engage in a really story-driven MMO, or maybe creating a way where people don't have to engage in that, and they can just play the game like a traditional MMO experience. You just open up the quest, and it's just a little big thing of text. You don't have to listen to a bunch of voice acting. I don't know. I played through Star Wars The Old Republic recently as that Sith warrior, and I had a great time playing it. I had an awesome time in the dungeons, with the community.
The story is amazing.
With my guild, Barks Root Beer. It was awesome. And when it
That's
comes
kind of
to
great.
MMOs in general,
That's kind of
whether it's
amazing.
WoW or ESO or Star Wars The Old Republic, I want there to always be a successful, well-maintained, and well-driven team that is pushing a high-quality MMO product for that gamer who wants to dive into whatever particular universe they decide. I want the Star Wars fan to be able to play a Star Wars MMO that's badass. The Warcraft fan to be able to play the World of Warcraft MMO, and it is badass. The Elder Scrolls fan to be like, man, I want to play Elder Scrolls Online, and it's badass. And I hope, it is my prayer, that Broadsword Online picks up the mantle and makes some dramatic changes and does things that is going to take us all by surprise.
And if they come out with a new expansion and the cinematic isn't baller, that's a rough start.
Documenting the entire journey, and we're going to see what Broadsword Online does with this beloved MMO. Guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Big shout out to our members here on the YouTube channel. I'll see you guys with my next Star Wars video.
Yes, sir.